Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I've been meaning to make a new video for ages, but the longer you don't do something, the easier it becomes to not do it. So we've gotten to the point where I'd basically forgotten how to make a YouTube video. But we're back and I'm excited to make some more content for you guys. Right now it's summer, and as you can probably tell from the title, I'm starting a new language. I've got a trip to Germany coming up at the beginning of September, and I want to learn a bit of German before I go there because I feel like it would be a waste to go there and not know anything, even though I don't really need to know German to enjoy my holiday, but how could I miss a language learning opportunity? So German is one of the few European languages that I've not had any interest in learning, honestly. It was an option in high school, but I chose French, and I've never really seen it as one of the languages that I would ever learn, and as such, I literally don't know anything in German. So this is going to be a really fun experience because it's been ages since I've ever had to learn a language from the beginning again. I started learning French at the beginning of primary school, and Japanese I started learning almost 10 years ago. So I really can't remember how it is to start from zero. But I'm really excited about this, and I thought I'd make a good video idea, so I'm going to take you guys along in my German language learning journey. So I'm recording this before I start learning German, and I have about a month to go. So I just wanted to lay down a couple of goals for my German, and none of them are going to be very ambitious because I only have a month, and afterwards I don't really have any plans of continuing to learn German. I just basically want to be able to introduce myself and get around without any trouble, to be able to understand and say basic survival phrases and maybe a bit more if I have the time and energy to learn more. But again, since I have no idea what learning German will be like for me, I don't want to set my goals too high. I decided that this would be the perfect time to try out a technique called language stacking, which is basically where you learn a new language from a language that you already know. So in this case, I decided to use French as my base and try to learn German from French. So I just did a quick Google search in French on how to introduce yourself in German, and I came across a site that looked like it came straight out of 2008, possibly even earlier, that was explaining basic phrases that you needed to know in German. I decided to stick with this site because it had a very useful table that just had a bunch of basic phrases that I thought were quite useful. So I decided to copy these phrases down in my notebook, but before I tried to actually practice them, I wanted to learn how they were said first. I mean, the main reason I was learning German was to use it on holiday, so I thought I should learn how to say them properly before trying to memorise them, especially since I have no base with German. So I decided to look up a bunch of YouTube videos. I love using YouTube for learning languages. I've made entire lists of YouTube channels that I use to learn French and Japanese, so if you're interested, I'll link those in the description down below. But I was just looking for a simple video on how to introduce yourself in German. So I found one by this channel here, I'll link them in the description, who gave a pretty good comprehensive introduction into German and basic phrases that you need to use to introduce yourself. So I basically watched the video and I would repeat after them all the different phrases. Then I decided to go over the list that I'd made in my notebook and try and repeat them out loud. And that was basically it for the first day. It was very simple. I just wanted to introduce myself to the language and learn the basics. So the next day I decided to use one of my favourite language learning resources, which is Memrise. I really enjoy using Memrise and I've used it to learn both French and Japanese. And I decided to try the German course. But since I was learning German from French, I decided to go find the German course for French speakers. The reason I like Memrise over other apps is that it's really convenient to use, and unlike apps like Duolingo, it teaches you useful phrases in a helpful order. Like, I understand that Duolingo is trying to teach you memorable sentences, but sometimes you just want to learn something that you can use immediately, and I find that Memrise is very helpful in grouping their language courses in a way that's great for people like me who want to just learn the basics at the beginning. That being said, I have started to like Memrise a lot less recently because they removed all of their community courses from the main website. They moved them onto a separate website, and I'm pretty sure they're going to delete them at the end of this year. So the only courses that they have are their official courses, and while I do enjoy their official courses, I find that a lot of the time there's specific stuff that I might want to know that the community courses help me learn. Like there are people who made Memrise courses based on textbooks, so you'd find all the vocabulary for a certain textbook on Memrise. So you can basically use Memrise like you would Anki, where people make decks based on certain things and upload them. I mean, to be fair, this is only really annoying to me because I've gone beyond the scope of all of their French and Japanese courses, but now for German it's actually really useful again, so it's not too bad, I suppose. But anyways, I finished up that lesson and a couple more on Memrise, and then I went over the words that I'd written before in my notebook, and I continued that for a couple of days. German is very different from some of the other languages that I studied, so it definitely took a lot more effort to get used to a lot of the stuff that I was saying and get used to the pronunciation in particular, but it was a very fun challenge. Like I said, I'm taking it easy. I just want to learn the basics, and I'm not really going to put that much pressure on myself to learn too much. So yeah, that's it for this video. I might post an update later on in the month, closer to the date that I'm going, just showing how much I've learned and maybe if I change anything that I'm doing. But I'm really glad to be back on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who's stuck around for the year that I haven't been active. I don't want to make any promises I can't keep, but I am excited to be back and glad to be sharing some more content with you. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.